Race number 6 is the round 2 of the Al Maktoum Challenge for the Thoroughbreds. And
last year's winners running again.
Yep, unlike last year, all the runners are owned by Maktoums, so they might have to rename the race. There's a couple of horses in this I don't think are good enough. I'm not going to name them, but I'll say to start with, there's a couple of I don't think are good enough. But when you look at the Godolphin horses, Prince Bishop, Hunter's Light, you've got a lot of horses here that ran on World Cup, in the World Cup, on World Cup night.
Yeah.
Battle of Marengo coming back over is interesting. I know they think a lot of this down in Abu Dhabi, but Frankie Dettori's got the ride instead of Tiger O'Shea. I was looking when I first saw that whether what's his name had got a runner, Jimmy Long, but he hadn't.
No. Weird.
Surfer. When he won here last time, I spoke to Satish straight after the race, and I said, just won over a mile, and I said, you know, I really, really think he could be a 10-furlong horse, and he agreed. Mm-hmm. They said that he was the one they were looking at for the World Cup. I thought he won with a little bit in hand, to be honest, during that race. But this is a step up again, isn't it?
Well, definitely. I mean, you've got. I've just gone for Dunadan here, and the reason is he's a Group 1 horse, Grade 1 runner in Tokyo. He's been around Flemington, of course. The what do you call it race? The handicap.
Yeah.
Melbourne Cup.
Cup. Yeah.
I just like this horse. I'm going to take a chance on him, but these are Group 1 horses, and I'm including the Hunter's Light in there.
Who won it last year?
Yeah,
was disappointing on World Cup night.
You cannot ignore these Group 1 horses really, and think let's say for instance a listed winner is going to come and do them.
Well, I'll give my negatives on Dunadan. The reason I don't fancy Dunadan is I don't think it strips far enough. I think he needs further. The fact that he ran in the Melbourne Cup says that, but his last 5 races have all been over a mile and a half, so dropping back 2 furlongs I don't think will suit him. The one time he's run over this distance, he was second, and of the 2 times he's run on the all-weather, he's been nowhere in second. So that put me off him. There's a few others I'm not, they've got group form around them, but I'm not keen on. But the one I like, and I'll tell you why I like it, is because before the World Cup last year, it was coming out of the Godolphin stables. They thought this was their best chance, and they've put him away for the year. They've left him here. I think Cy Binsuror thinks this is his World Cup horse this year. Last year was his first step up to 10, which I know this isn't quite 10, but it's give or take 50 metres. It was his first step up to that trip. He'd been running over a mile till then. And I think African Story could be their World Cup charge from Cy Binsuror stable. I think Cato Mountain might be the one from Charlie Appleby's. And I kind of like African Story. He won the mile here a couple of times very convincingly.
Yeah.
And I think going into this race, you know, he could be. Could be a nice horse.
I'm just convinced he's a miler. I think we've mentioned this horse a couple of times. Zahi,
his last run was very good.
It was
a big step
7
up.
furlongs, but he's coming back to the 1900. I don't know. You never can discount Mick that Cocker run. He's just winning races, but I'm just going to give a chance to Meydan. He's a class horse. Jamie Spencer knows him backwards. I don't know. It's one of them hard races, and it wouldn't surprise me if Hunter's Light come out and win again.
No.
Yeah. African Story, I understand what you're saying, and I'm really not putting him off, but he's got that little mile. It's his favourite thing. It always was for me, you know what I mean? And the other one we haven't mentioned is Heavy Metal, who really was introduced.
Isn't he carrying too much weight?
Maybe, but didn't they run him at a short distance? We knew he wouldn't win, didn't we? And now he's back over a longer distance. I wonder if Sean Tarry was very clever there, and
it was a prep run.
And he's got Richard Hughes in the saddle, and he could be a danger too.
He's got proper Group 1 form.
Yeah.
He's got a top jockey on him. You can't write him off.
You can't.
I mean, he's a Group 1 winner in South Africa, where we know how good the South African horses are coming here and transferring the form. But I'm going to give out. I was told before the World Cup last year that they really liked the chances of African Story over Hunter's Light, who had won this race. So I'm going to stick with African Story. You're going to go with the Dan.
Yeah.
And we're both going to be wrong, and something else will be.
Well, it could be.
There you go. It's not really helpful today, are we? So that's race number 6.